love the Ravens as much as we do, then smash that subscribe button and stay locked in with Flock News for all the drama, updates, and excitement all season long. The NFL world is buzzing with shockwaves after the Baltimore Ravens reportedly pulled off one of the most unexpected moves in recent memory, signaling a seismic shift not only for their roster, but potentially for the entire league. According to sources close to the team, the Ravens have reached an agreement to acquire the British-born defensive end Efe Obada from the Washington Commanders, a decision that has left fans and analysts alike scratching their heads and speculating on the long-term implications of such a bold move. Obada, whose journey from amateur European leagues to the heights of professional American football has been nothing short of cinematic, brings with him a unique blend of size, speed, and raw athleticism that few in the league can match. What makes this transfer particularly intriguing is not only Obada's skill set, but also the story behind his rise, as he represents a rare success story of international talent breaking into a sport historically dominated by American-born athletes. The Ravens, known for their strategic brilliance on both sides of the ball, might be signaling a deeper philosophical shift, perhaps looking to diversify their defensive options, while simultaneously sending a message that talent knows no borders. Observers are already theorizing how Obada's presence could alter defensive schemes, player rotations, and even the team's approach to upcoming free agency and draft strategies, suggesting that this single acquisition could ripple through every layer of Baltimore's football operations, challenging opponents to rethink how they approach games against a suddenly more versatile and dynamic Ravens defense. While the news of Obada's move has caused immediate excitement, it has also sparked intense debate among pundits and fans about the timing and strategic intent behind the transaction. Critics argue that trading for a player from a rival conference, particularly one who has had moments of brilliance tempered by inconsistency, carries significant risk, potentially destabilizing locker room chemistry or diverting resources from other pressing roster needs. Supporters, on the other hand, point to Obada's relentless work ethic, international pedigree, and physical attributes, emphasizing that the Ravens may have secured a rare talent who can make an impact in critical moments. Speculation has also swirled regarding the financial terms of the agreement, with some insiders suggesting that Baltimore may have offered an unusually favorable contract or guarantees to lure Obada across, a move that could influence future negotiations league-wide. Beyond the numbers, there is a cultural and symbolic dimension to consider. Obada's journey from Europe to the NFL has always resonated as a story of resilience and determination, and his alignment with a franchise known for grit and toughness creates a narrative that the media and fans will undoubtedly seize upon. Analysts are already projecting potential on-field alignments, wondering whether Obada will slot immediately into a starting role or serve as a rotational disruptor who changes the pace and tempo of defensive packages. This debate, heated and often speculative, underscores the broader fascination with international players navigating the intricate dynamics of NFL rosters, where talent, strategy, and storytelling intersect in unpredictable ways, creating headlines, social media chatter, and perhaps a ripple effect influencing other teams to look beyond domestic talent pools in the future. Adding to the intrigue is the timing of the announcement, which has fueled rumors about broader organizational strategies in Baltimore. Some insiders suggest that this move is not merely about adding a single player, but reflects a longer-term vision to inject international flair and unpredictability into a roster that has historically thrived on a combination of domestic scouting and disciplined, aggressive defensive schemes. Obada's unique skill set, his speed off the edge, ability to collapse pockets, and versatility in coverage fits seamlessly into multiple potential packages, allowing the Ravens to experiment with alignments that could confound opposing quarterbacks and offensive coordinators. Fans are already hypothesizing about which defensive linemen might rotate alongside him, and whether Obada's presence could create opportunities for other emerging talents to shine under less pressure. Knowing the defensive end can absorb double teams or disrupt plays with singular athleticism. Meanwhile, the Commanders are reportedly weighing the implications of losing a player who, despite some inconsistent performances, embodied a rare combination of physicality and charisma, raising questions about how they will fill the void in the roster, and whether this trade signals a broader rebuild or realignment of priorities within the Washington organization. The potential ripple effects of this transaction, both tactical and psychological, cannot be underestimated. as NFL teams increasingly operate in a landscape where a single acquisition can shift momentum, influence opponent game planning, and even affect league-wide perceptions about talent valuation, contract negotiations, and international scouting strategies, suggesting that Obada's move could resonate far beyond the immediate headlines. Adding fuel to the speculative fire is the fact that Obada has become a symbol of perseverance and non-traditional pathways in professional football, which makes his potential impact in Baltimore more than just a tactical question. Beyond his measurable contributions on the field, Obada embodies a narrative of overcoming obstacles, international adaptation, and personal evolution that aligns with a growing trend in the NFL to spotlight global stories as part of the league's marketing and cultural outreach. Speculators are already projecting the social media storm that could follow, imagining fans celebrating his unique background, merchandise sales tied to his persona, and perhaps even partnerships or endorsements that capitalize on his status as a transatlantic sports figure. Furthermore, coaching staff and team insiders are likely assessing not only his physical readiness, but also how his mentality, leadership potential, and locker room influence might integrate into an existing ecosystem that has been lauded for cohesion and discipline. Some commentators suggest that Obada's presence could inspire other international athletes to pursue NFL careers, thereby creating a longer-term pipeline that affects scouting, training, and recruitment on both sides of the Atlantic. In essence, the speculation surrounding this trade is multi-layered. It is not just about immediate wins and losses, but about cultural impact, strategic experimentation, narrative resonance, and the unpredictable ways in which a single player can shift the perception and trajectory of a storied franchise, creating endless avenues for discussion, debate, and anticipation. Questions have already emerged about how Obada will adapt to the Ravens' defensive schemes, particularly given the team's historical reliance on specialized, position-specific roles. Analysts are exploring scenarios in which Obada might be deployed as a situational pass rusher, a hybrid linebacker, or even in creative sub-packages designed to exploit matchups against high-powered offenses. The Ravens' defensive coordinator is reportedly enthusiastic about the potential to experiment, citing Obada's versatility, quick learning curve, and athletic profile as reasons why he could become a tactical weapon capable of changing the complexion of games in unexpected ways. Meanwhile, fantasy football enthusiasts are speculating about the implications for individual player stats, league rankings, and projection models, turning a single trade into a multifaceted conversation spanning performance metrics, betting odds, and long-term team strategy. Off the field, the media frenzy is intensifying, with commentators weighing in on historical precedents, comparing Obada's trajectory to other international talents who made a late career jump to prominence, and debating whether Baltimore's gamble signals a trend toward valuing raw potential over traditional metrics. In this context, the speculation surrounding Obada's impact is as much about psychology and narrative framing as it is about tangible results, creating a sense of anticipation, suspense, and intrigue that keeps fans, analysts, and rival franchises on edge, eager to see whether this bold gamble will pay dividends or redefine expectations in ways that reverberate throughout the league. Finally, the reaction from fans has been immediate and intense, ranging from elation to skepticism, illustrating how polarizing a move like this can be. Social media platforms are flooded with highlights from Obada's career, analyses of his strengths and weaknesses, and impassioned debates about whether Baltimore has made a masterstroke or a high-stakes gamble. Merchandise pre-orders and fan engagement metrics reportedly spiked following the news, suggesting that the excitement is not merely theoretical but has tangible manifestations in terms of brand value, audience growth, and cultural relevance. At the same time, critics caution that hype can overshadow realities such as adaptation periods, potential injuries, and the inevitable learning curve associated with integrating a new international star into a complex and highly competitive system. Coaches, teammates, and management are presumably navigating these dynamics carefully, balancing optimism with pragmatism, and trying to ensure that the narrative does not outpace the practical steps required for Obada to contribute meaningfully on game days. Meanwhile, rival teams are undoubtedly analyzing every possible angle, from defensive adjustments to contract considerations, anticipating the ripple effects this move could have on matchups, trades, and broader league dynamics. In the midst of all this speculation, one thing is certain: Obada's rumored arrival in Baltimore has sparked conversations that extend far beyond the confines of a single roster transaction, inviting fans, analysts, and competitors alike to rethink the possibilities, implications, and future narratives that could define not only a season but potentially the evolving culture of the NFL itself. Before we dive in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Your support keeps us bringing you the latest news on the Baltimore Ravens. And hey, drop your take in the comments below. We want to hear from the flock. The strategic implications of Obada's potential integration into the Ravens roster are already the subject of intense debate, with insiders suggesting that his presence could force a complete reevaluation of defensive schematics that have long been considered standard within the league. Sources close to the team indicate that coaches are exploring hybrid alignments in which Obada's ability to oscillate between edge rusher and stand-up linebacker could allow the Ravens to disguise intentions pre-snap, creating uncertainty for opposing quarterbacks and offensive coordinators. Analysts speculate that this could lead to increased pressure in critical down and distance situations, potentially redefining what teams consider a predictable Baltimore defense. Beyond the tactical possibilities, there are discussions regarding team morale, as Obada's international background and charismatic presence may introduce a new cultural dimension to a locker room traditionally anchored in American football traditions. The timing of this acquisition, coming at a period when league-wide attention is heightened, suggests that Baltimore is not only pursuing on-field advantage, but also aiming to cultivate a narrative of innovation, diversity, and global ambition, positioning themselves as a franchise that embraces risk and unconventional talent pathways. Fans and pundits alike are fascinated by the potential domino effect of Obada's arrival, theorizing that rival teams may now intensify their own scouting of international prospects, creating a new layer of competition that extends far beyond standard draft boards and player evaluations, and challenging the league to reconsider the global talent landscape in ways that could influence recruitment, media strategies, and fan engagement for years to come. Financial considerations surrounding Obada's rumored move are also fueling speculation, as league insiders hint at unprecedented contract structures and incentive models designed to attract global talent without compromising the team's long-term salary cap flexibility. While precise numbers remain confidential, experts suggest that Baltimore may have leveraged creative mechanisms, such as performance-based escalators, bonus clauses, or even marketing-linked incentives that reward both on-field production and off-field visibility. The potential ripple effects of such arrangements extend beyond Baltimore, as rival franchises are likely analyzing the deal to identify leverage points, risk mitigation strategies, and alternative approaches to securing elite talent from unconventional sources. Media analysts speculate that this could redefine how contracts are structured for international players, potentially opening the door for a broader, more flexible labor market that prioritizes adaptability, exposure, and narrative potential in addition to traditional performance metrics. From a business perspective, the move is equally intriguing, as Obada's transatlantic appeal could catalyze partnerships with European brands, NFL international campaigns, and merchandise opportunities previously unexplored, effectively transforming a single roster acquisition into a multi-dimensional strategic asset. The discussion around the financial dimensions also intersects with speculation about team culture, fan loyalty, and marketing influence, suggesting that Baltimore's gambit may be as much a play for narrative dominance as it is a football decision, reinforcing the idea that modern franchises operate in a complex ecosystem where athleticism, business acumen, and storytelling converge in unpredictable and fascinating ways. The potential impact on team dynamics is another hot topic, as coaches and insiders weigh the challenges of integrating a player who has navigated vastly different football cultures and systems. Obada's transition from the Commanders to the Ravens may involve more than learning new playbooks. It could require adjustments in communication styles, leadership hierarchies, and team rituals, all of which contribute to cohesion and performance. Analysts speculate that Baltimore's coaching staff is approaching this carefully, possibly assigning mentors or adjusting practice rotations to facilitate a smooth assimilation, thereby mitigating risks associated with chemistry disruptions. Fans are already theorizing how his work ethic and international perspective might influence younger players, perhaps inspiring rookies or emerging talents to adopt a more global mindset, while simultaneously elevating the overall intensity and competitiveness of practice sessions. This cultural and psychological layer adds nuance to the speculation, suggesting that Obada's arrival could reverberate far beyond measurable statistics, shaping locker room attitudes, motivational dynamics, and even decision-making processes during critical game moments. In essence, observers are framing the transaction not simply as a player acquisition, but as a potential cultural inflection point, one that may redefine the Ravens' identity and set a precedent for future interactions between domestic and international athletes within a league historically dominated by American-born talent. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay in the loop with exclusive news on our Baltimore Ravens, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. We'd love to hear what the flock thinks. Drop your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next one.